Don't let the CBO score fool you. Washington was built to protect reckless spending. Let's discover why the CBO is a rigged calculator, why Congress is the Hotel California of spending cuts, and compare them to the ultimate standard, the politics of God.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Every time Congress debates a bill that proposes even modest spending cuts, defenders of the status quo point to the Congressional Budget Office, aka CBO score, as if it were sacred scriptures. But there's a problem. CBO scoring isn't neutral. It's biased in ways that protect government spending and penalize attempts at reform. CBO models routinely ignore market realities, especially the growth potential of tax cuts or deregulation. If a policy shrinks the government, it gets docked points. If it grows a bureaucracy, it's treated like a national treasure. Critics say the big beautiful bill, Triple B, adds to the deficit. But that claim relies on a CBO scoring rule that doesn't reflect economic reality. By law, the CBO must assume that current tax law expires exactly as written, even when everyone in Washington expects those tax cuts to be extended. So keeping tax rates the same gets scored as lost revenue. It's a legal accounting gimmick that creates the illusion of deficit spending where there is none. The result? A scoring system that favors spending and punishes restraint. The CBO is the financial version of a slot machine in a rigged casino. The House, aka big government, always wins. I'm not saying the CBO numbers are wrong, I'm saying their assumptions are wrong. CBO calculations are less math and more political. It's a calculator programmed by people who think your income belongs to the government first, and they'll decide how much you're allowed to keep. So when Elon Musk calls the Triple B an abomination, he's reacting to how reform looks through the CBO's Funhouse of mirrors. It's not because the bill lacks good reform. It's because, thanks to the CBO and the system around it, even good reforms are made to look like monsters. The truth is, the bill's imperfections stem from its authors being forced to work within rules designed not to promote accountability, but to prevent it. Welcome to the Hotel California of government waste. The halls of Congress. Reconciliation constraints and rescission barriers work like the nightman in Hotel California. Always on duty to make sure spending cuts check in, but they can never check out. Even when everyone agrees a program is wasting money, actually clawing back that money requires more steps than a Rube Goldberg machine designed by lobbyists. Medicaid alone is a case study in dysfunction. We've known for decades that hundreds of millions of dollars vanish annually through fraud, abuse, and waste. Washington isn't gridlocked. It's well-oiled, but only in the direction of spending more. And that brings us to a higher authority. The Bible calls this what it is: corruption. This isn't just about math or policy, it's about morality. Scripture doesn't shy away from calling out corrupt systems, and neither should we. God requires leaders to be faithful stewards in 1 Corinthians 4:2, managing resources with care. But in DC, stewardship means spending other people's money and calling it investment. The federal budget isn't a tool of justice anymore. It's a buffet line, and everyone's eating like calories don't count if they come from someone else's wallet. In Deuteronomy, God told Israel to choose leaders who were wise, impartial, and accountable to Him, not to donors or political machinery. You shall not be partial in judgment. You shall not be intimidated by anyone, for the judgment is God's. That's the opposite of how the CBO works. It sure doesn't seem designed to encourage stewardship. It seems designed to scapegoat any effort to cut reckless spending or return money to the people through tax cuts, or more accurately, to the lobbyists and insiders who get first dibs on how it's spent. Scripture also condemns leaders who write laws that serve themselves while burdening the people. When trillions are locked into programs that no one can audit, question, or cancel, but citizens are told to tighten their belts, It's not just economic folly, it's oppression. In God's blueprint for good government, even kings had to write down his law and read it daily so they'd stay humble and obedient. In Washington, lawmakers don't even read the bills they vote on. God commanded the law to be read out loud to men, women, kids, and even foreigners. Government was supposed to be transparent. So the next time someone invokes the CBO like it's the book of numbers, remember, it's not divine math, it's Washington math. And the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed to keep your money and call it investment. The big, beautiful bill is definitely not perfect, but at least it's trying to break the cycle. And that's worth fighting for, even in a town where spending cuts go to die and calculators are rigged. What say you? Comment below. Does the government own your income? Would the nation come crashing down if we just went back to the pre-COVID spending levels when we had the best economy in decades? I'm Brian Tuttamore. That's today's Faith Check News. Remember, think right to live free.